So what I want to do now, if you'll bear with me for just a second, is I want to jump over to a sample database and show you without going into a great amount of detail, because again, the system is very comprehensive. And in the terms of this webinar, we don't really have time to dive down in deep to it. But I do want to show you layout navigation. And so your users will simply access any web-enabled device, smartphone, tablet, laptop, to access the instance, putting in their logon credentials here, and that will bring them into the main screen of the platform. And so you'll notice this happens to be our InterLink API specification Q1 platform, but other platforms will generally follow the same layout. And it's divided into two sections. So on the left-hand side here, you have navigation, which is divided into 10 sections. And within each section, there are a number of modules. Those modules are divided into three components. There's a search section, which allows the user to search on predefined criteria. There is what we call the grid view, which will contain a summary of the records. And again, we can show or view as many of those summary records as we would like. And then we can either create a new record or access an existing record by clicking here, and this will open the detail view, which will contain specifics of that particular record. Likewise, included in all of the modules are predefined reports and access to submodules around that. We'll talk about these different sections in here in just a minute. I want to draw your attention to the right-hand side. Right now in our sample database, this is blank. However, this area would be used for KPI metrics dashboards, calendars, task lists, etc., and can be set by the user for their specific needs or requirements. So just real briefly, I want to touch on the different sections. So we have people, where we're talking about customers, CRMs, supply chain management, and all that goes with that, employee and training and competency, and meeting management. We have document control, document review, document revision, management of change, and the like, forms and reports. Around equipment, we have asset management and preventive maintenance work orders, predictive maintenance work orders, inspection and test, which is our calibration functionality, whether you're doing that internally or externally. From a process management standpoint, we are managing the process from contract review through design, if you're design responsible, through quality planning, and then out to product management and creating bills of material or work orders or service on the service side, service quality planning and project management as well. From a compliance standpoint, we are corrective actions, risk management, management of change. So again, risk management flows very deeply through all of the modules. And again, we have an interconnected approach to this, and I will illustrate that for you here in a minute. From a monitoring standpoint, whether we're doing audits or receipts or inspections or NCRs, deviations, reworks, we can access all of these modules and document the information in there. In this case of this particular sample, we've also included EHS modules, so we can handle hazard analysis, response planning, incident and injury tracking, inspections, communications, notifications. And then we have events, so task lists and calendars, as well as dashboards. Each dashboard can be configured specifically for that user. So as a quality manager, I may be looking at different information than, say, our EHS or our C-level. And so each individual user has the ability to customize their KPI matrix dashboard to look at the information that is important to them. So one of the areas that I do want to just call out here, and again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on the platform. If you're interested in diving a little bit more in depth, we invite you to visit our website and set up a discovery session and or schedule a demo, and we would be happy to dive down in depth with you. But one of the things when we're talking about those pain points is that manual and lack of automation. And so our platforms really take that into account. And so a lot of processes are very automated. And so, for example, we are automating the training and competency. We're automating preventive maintenance and work order generation. We're automating document management and notifications and alerts out to organizations. We hope that you can see that the front end of the platform is really designed to be very user-friendly so that people can log on, enter the information, or retrieve the information that they need. Understand that the back end is very robust and has all the analytics and reporting capabilities that are required. So I do want to just illustrate one thing. So if we were to go to nonconformities and pull up one of these nonconformities, we're entering in the nonconformity here, and we're documenting our disposition. Getting back to that automation process, we can automatically create a corrective action, a deviation, an RMA around this NCR. In this case, it's a product. Because it's a Q1 platform, but we can automatically create these, and once the corrective action is created, it's going to hyperlink back into here, so that during an audit or a customer visit, if we're looking at nonconformities, we can see all the information around this nonconformity, as well as by clicking on this link, we can then bring up the actual corrective action. And see what the request was, what the response was, as well as any evidence that was uploaded. And then we can document our follow-up. So was an audit required? If so, what were the results of that audit? And again, very similar to what you saw from a non-conforming standpoint, if this rises to a management of change request, we can hyperlink that management of change record into the corrective action. In effect, daisy chaining these all together so that we're siloing and that information is readily available. So again, one of the things, excuse me, that we really hope that you can, or that we can illustrate in this short webinar demonstration, is that it's an all-in-one solution that really is designed to reduce administrative burden, mitigate risk, and really empower your team from a performance standpoint.